Yeah, in terms of good, I mean they're all great, and they may as well all be in NS. I mean, they're all fantastic things for
exactly. But like for the sake of what do you want to optimize, like what do you want to do the most of? Where do you want to pursue the most of? And really thinking about each of these things. Hey everyone, Ryan Keegan here.
And Cy Szynski from a little show called Beyond Being Well.
You may know our podcast, but today we're coming at you with the tier list.
Yes, we're going to do a video you can see us here. And this video is about negative ions.
Yes, and a little bit of an educational component to this video is we'll be explaining negative ions. You may have heard of them in the news, but they are a form of ion that's negative, as opposed to positive ions, which cause stress. Negative ions relieve stress in the body, and they can be found in all the things that are just like good. You know?
Basically, you're going to want to be thinking nature, and you're going to be thinking outside.
As you can see from some of the images we selected for this tier list, we did a thorough gathering of the things that cause negative ions to be generated and received by the body. So you can see the sun, you can see lightning. We gathered all of it.
Yeah, a little thing that I think will probably put it into your head if you're not getting it is, a lot of times on our show, we talked about how things are maybe not what they would seem.
Yeah, so negative ion.
You would think that negative ion would be depressing. It's negative, but it's actually the opposite.
Just what you want.
It's the opposite, and the positive ions are actually the depressing thing to our bodies, but negative ions.
Think dumpster. Think trash, landfill.
Apartments with blue light LED, destroying.
Think hospital.
Absolutely. So today we have a plethora of great things that promote and
but not all good things are created equal.
Yes.
So that's where we're going to be stratifying and ranking in a tier list.
Absolutely, as all things should be. So
I guess we should just
get started.
Yep. Start at the back there. We see
the
tree.
Right off the bat, I'm wanting to say
A or S. Also, depending on how things go later on, it could move.
It could move. I mean, anything.
Anything can move. That's one of the rules that we have. Nothing's set until everything is set.
Absolutely. I right off the bat, I'm thinking A as well.
All right.
Let's go to A. And I guess the reason I would say that is
because they're everywhere. So we're doing this today, just touching a tree on a walk. You can actually feel
the charge.
I mean, you can feel the negative ions
coming off of the tree.
It goes right into your hand,
and it just gives you like a boost, an emotional.
I would say they're kind of like nature's human being.
Absolutely. I think they have to be A, maybe not S. Just because we're not that deep, so we don't really know what we're up against.
Yeah, we don't know what an S is yet, so we'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah, this next one is very, very fun. This is a specific type of crystal. A lot of people are really into crystals. I know I love looking at crystals and feeling their power. One of these, this is a very specific crystal that some people say promotes negative ions. It's called a tamarind, I believe.
That's right. You can have this on your shelf.
You can wear it as a necklace,
pretty much anywhere, and it's just taking positive ions in and converting out negative ions.
Yeah,
and that's what you want from a lot of objects. If you can get a transfer of ions, sort of a filter, like an air filter.
Yes, which we'll get to.
But considering they're rare and expensive.
Yeah,
we're not really, maybe C for crystal is what I was thinking.
C for crystal.
Yeah, C for crystal, because unlike the tree, this is a good comparison. It's like, where will you see a crystal in your life?
I know. This may be the only time in your life you ever hear of this particular crystal.
But everyone knows a tree since they've been like 2 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I like that spot.
Kind of a mix between these two things, our next item.
It looks like a crystal, but it's not.
It's actually some of the most important mineral you'll ever encounter.
and taste
Salt.
salt.
So-
It's a salt lamp.
So these are pretty popular. You may have seen these around. I currently have 6 of them.
Yeah, I have 7.
It's a great color in terms of the light that they're giving off.
It's funny. It's before before I knew about this negative ion stuff.
You already knew.
I already knew what it was doing.
And that's what's true for a lot of this stuff. You
Yeah.
already know that it's good.
absolutely
So, but it can't be better than a tree.
no. So I think we'll leave it in B.
Yeah.
They're beautiful looking, so B for beautiful too. And moving on, we go to rainstorms, thunderstorms.
Thunderstorm in particular,
Yeah.
though rainstorms are good for negative ions too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting a lot from the clouds. You're getting stuff from the water.
The water, rain.
And then lightning. You don't want to be struck though, but it's always good.
That's too many negative ions.
Yeah, that'd be too
Yeah.
many. I'm already thinking A, S. Like maybe just put in an A for now.
I don't know about that. I think the rain, while it's great, it also kind of sucks in some respects. And the thunderstorms in particular can give a lot of damage to
But is it
knocking out some of the trees, knocking out some of the other negative ion producing things.
So where would you put it?
I want to put it closer to. I want to put it above the crystals, but I think maybe C tier above the crystals, or I'd be happy with B tier below the lamps.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in B because I don't
Okay.
think you can put that in C. I mean, have you ever seen a lightning bolt? Like they're
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I mean, it's amazing.
It is
But not better than the salt lamps. I don't think.
not better than a lamp. No.
All right, so next up is a city park.
Yes, and this, I mean,
This is Central Park, but this is in reference to any park.
and
in a
for,
city.
And for those of you, frankly, fools for living in a city, these are basically the saving grace. I mean, this
This is your one source of negative ions in a sea of positive ions.
yeah. So I'm gonna say it's C, lower than crystals, and it's C for city, but it's also C
It's
because
definitely C for city, but
It's
I will say it's like the saving grace.
it's
of
the
a
saving
city.
grace of the city. But I think it very much is surrounded by positive ions, surrounded by
Yeah,
these
but
places
that's not,
with
that's
so
not the
low,
park's
low.
fault.
That's true.
I think because it's a saving grace.
It has to be a bit higher.
Well, I'm fine with C, honestly, but above crystals.
All right, love crystals.
All right, next up
Okay.
we have
these are similar to crystals, so I think they're probably
a little bit of an accessory.
yeah.
A man-made item.
And they're negative ion bracelets, usually using magnetism to promote the negative ion production. I'm gonna say it's similar to to crystals.
Yeah.
just because
I wouldn't even say better though.
I would say better only because of the fashion element.
That's true.
Although you can wear the
Yeah.
crystals as necklaces, so let's keep it there.
Let's keep it there. They're pretty much overlapped.
Yeah, I mean,
If we could overlap them.
yeah, it's too bad they can't do that on this. The next one we have is a favorite of mine.
Favorite of mine as well. The mountain.
Yeah, or mountains.
Mountains. And
I'm gonna say it.
I can't even imagine.
I'm gonna say it.
Yes.
S.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be S.
What do you think? How many negative ions are coming off a mountain?
I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of negative ions
Yeah.
because on a mountain, not only are you looking at if you're standing in front of a mountain, you're looking at the mountain,
yeah.
right? But you're looking at the trees.
There's
the
a lot
grass,
in just a mountain.
there's a lot in just a mountain.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be. I mean, and it's also fun because it's the top.
It's
of the
beautiful.
tier list as well.
Yeah. So backtracking a little bit.
Yeah.
We touched on some man-made items that are helpful.
Yes.
And here we have an indoor fountain. Something that we were hesitant to even put on this list, I think,
Yeah.
because it's so unorthodox, and we wouldn't even expect it to make negative ions. I didn't expect
Yeah, it was a surprise, but I actually knew deep down.
okay.
I think because I actually, if you go to a spa or if you go to a masseuse, a lot of times they'll have running water there.
That's
and
true.
you think, oh, maybe this is just an auditory thing, but it's actually the negative ions that are.
And just like
giving you
that,
some
something
be-
you kind of know intuitively is good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
so
kind
I
of
think,
the rule of thumb.
Yeah, I think this can also be a saving grace if you live in a city. This you're gonna want to pick.
Or
one of these
even
up.
if you have a dull apartment with nothing kind of going on for you,
Yeah.
this could be something that would just, give you some life. Put it.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Something we kind of missed on this list is just houseplants. I mean, it's a big one, but I think.
Are we putting it on this?
I mean, we'll say. I mean, maybe we should jump in and put that without the image.
Yeah, and we're sorry that we didn't have houseplants outright on
No,
there.
I'm really sorry.
It's a big mistake, but we can do it now just without the image. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking A for houseplants.
Below the trees, though.
Yeah, because you can't really fit a tree in your house.
Christmas trees.
That's true, but that
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, Christmas trees may be a negative ion creator as well.
They
Didn't
must,
consider about that.
They must be, but probably less because
they're not planted.
alive.
Yeah, and if you're doing a plastic tree, you may as well drink positive ions.
Right, you're just adding more fuel to the fire there.
All right, so let's go back.
Houseplants-
A behind tree.
Yeah, we'll pretend
Just
we're
think it's
dragging
there.
it, pretend it's there,
And
and
then
now go back to fountain.
Yes.
Indoor fountains.
So indoor fountain, I'm kind of thinking it's similar to the park, like a city park. It's kind of a
Exactly.
saving grace, but I wouldn't say it's better. I wouldn't say
no,
it's
I
better.
wouldn't say it's better either. I like that spot. All right, grass.
Kind of a trend. A lot of C so far. Nothing really below C, which is interesting.
That's
All
what
right, let's
I'm
keep
seeing.
going.
Yeah, grass. We have. I was just stating. So
Well, this is a complicated issue, I think, because lawns, on one hand, can be a negative.
I mean, lawns are bullshit. I mean,
Exactly.
So
But if we know that and we approach grass from the perspective, oh, this is a place I can get barefoot time. Oh, this is a place I can work out.
yeah,
That's where grass comes in and is fighting for a B spot or A, I think.
I think it's definitely above these sort of saving graces that we put in C.
It's definitely above a saving grace.
But yeah, I mean, the thunderstorm and the salt lamp. I don't know. I almost want to put it at the top of B because of its ubiquitousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And though it's controversial, it's an overall good, I think.
Yeah,
But it's a good medium. It's right in the center.
I like it.
All right.
Moving on to bigger and better
Forest.
things with the forest.
You can't lose the forest for the tree. And that's where this comes in.
Yeah, I mean, it's multiple trees. It's got to be above.
It
It may even be S. It may even
Yeah,
be
I
S.
think so.
I think we were feeling the same thing there.
it's one of those things you can't forget when you're in it. It's just
No, when you're in it, this is. a
I'm
forest.
getting ions. I'm
I'm
getting
in-
ions. I'm getting ions.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't. Yeah, I mean, what's interesting now is now I go to these spaces and instead of thinking, "Oh, this is so beautiful," I think, "Oh, I'm getting ions."
Yes.
So it's a really productive way to see nature.
Yeah.
So the next one.
Wow,
is,
these are just back to back to back.
I think we kind of lined these up in a maybe not the.
It was a little rigged, but
yeah. This has also got to be S. Waterfalls are. Now it's interesting. You put this above forest.
it was just an instinctual move. But I think when we know that when we see a waterfall, we're seeing something special.
Yeah,
and they're always marked as parks. They're the place you go.
Yeah. And I think something else we can kind of gauge here is what is the most awe-inspiring? Awe-inspiring.
Yeah, mountains, waterfalls, forests. Like you think you're experiencing awe, but it's really the ions influencing you,
Yeah, it's not genuine.
and that's why they're so high up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's another big one. It's the sun. I mean,
Yeah.
what's bigger than that? I think the sun maybe has to go.
It can do what it wants on this list, I think.
But because it can do what it wants, it almost has to be at the top. I
Yeah,
think
exactly. That's what I'm
above
saying.
mountains.
Yeah.
There we go. Because I mean,
It is the source of our negative ions at the end of the day. It's bringing them in.
all of these things in this list need the sun.
And we're big advocates of, avoid sunblock so you can get that direct
Sunlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to be getting.
covered.
We need to be getting and doing the D all the time.
Yeah. So next,
Vitamin D.
a miniature sun, if you will. Something that you can personally have if you're wanting a similar experience.
Yeah.
And,
campfire.
Yep.
Or the hearth in your home too.
Yeah. So we did a kind of a generic image here to represent all fires. Not like bad fires, like forest fires, but
Though burning
certainly
down a house,
ions.
you could actually get negative ions from.
yes, but we don't want to encourage that.
No, absolutely not.
So we have a campfire. And what are we thinking with this?
I think, I want to, the smell of campfires has always bothered me a little, but
Yeah, smoke isn't necessarily
smoke
good.
isn't, necessarily great for the lungs. I want to put it bottom of B.
No, I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say, I don't think.
This next one is actually a even more miniature fire, a candle.
Beeswax candle. And we're not going to say B for beeswax. We're really going to think about this one. And
But I actually do want to kind of put it in B. I want to put it below campfire because it's a smaller version of a campfire.
yeah, and though they're good, we know that bees are being abused for some of these candles. So not necessarily
No,
the
but
best.
But that's actually kind of how God created them. But I want to put it, I'm thinking on second thought, I want to put it above campfire only because it's a great alternative to using electricity to light your home.
Something
And-
that does positive ions. It's a kind of a counteractive tool that we
Yes.
can use to limit the amount of positive ions in our
Absolutely.
lives.
So I like it above. Yeah. This next one is also a great one. It's the beach. I mean, the beach is
Now, not all beaches are created equal, and we recognize that.
right.
But overall, the components are there: water, sand,
Sun.
It's kind of a mix of a bunch of things that are good. Good
Yeah.
for ions, and yeah.
I mean, it seems like we're getting a
It's
little
almost unfair
Yeah.
that the beach has so many components all in one.
because now we're kind of getting. I'm afraid it feels like people might be saying, "Oh, everything's an S. Everything's an S." Well, there's a lot of good things here.
Yeah, a lot.
You know?
Like we're picking things that are. This whole thing is good.
Yeah, in terms of good, I mean they're all
everything-
great, and they may as well all be and get an S. I mean,
Yeah,
they're all
because-
fantastic things for
Yeah, exactly.
for
But
producing
like
that.
for the sake of what do you want to optimize? Like what do you want to do the most of? Where do you want to pursue the most of? And really thinking about each of these things.
Beach-
Hence the list. But all right,
beach would go in S, I think as well, and I think it's maybe above mountains.
Yeah. What about waterfall? Oh, above mountains.
I think because a lot of people can access this. A lot of people go on vacation here to kind of
It's
rejuvenate,
universally recognized, I think.
and you're getting almost all of these things. I mean, especially if you get a beach that has an overlook to a mountain or an overlook to a volcano
Or
something.
forest. You can start to realize that the beach could have everything in one.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets to be rivaling the sun. So that's why it's there. All right, so now our final two images, backtracking from nature a little bit, but also still very much natural, is barefoot walking.
Right. And so this is, I would say, it's one of the benefits that you can get from being on the grass, being on the beach.
Yeah.
But
So
I think I want to put it below grass at least.
yeah, and we have to talk about, a lot, some of these items, there's a cost to them. You have to buy crystals, you have to buy bracelets. You were born with your feet and you can use them
For most people.
for free. Yeah, and but that's free, and it's kind of your way of your daily dose of negative ions to get your feet on the ground.
Right. I mean, I think
it's A because it's one of our staple tools to use to
Yeah.
connect.
and it's a beautiful, I mean, they also have other uses which aren't really in here, but they're kind of influencing my decision.
All right, so the last item, kind of, humans have been around negative ions for a long time, and now we're kind of finally able to harness them ourselves.
Right, and it's through the discovery of negative ions that we've been able to realize, okay, how can we biohack our way into this? How can we, for those of you who are living in the cities, for those of you who even aren't and want those negative ions,
This is the tool for you. It's a negative ion generator.
And it's basically an air filter, right?
Because it's taking positive in, kind of like the salt lamp, kind of like a lot of things we've talked about, the crystals. But it's even better, I think.
Because of man's ingenuity here with this machine and the discovery of negative ions and all of this stuff leading up to here.
I know where you're going with this.
I almost want to put it above the sun.
No, I completely agree. And I've been using these for like 3 months now, have them on both my nightstands.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of negative ions, sleeping very well. You need earbuds because the noise is, it's significant, but...
it's kind of like a nice hum, though, background noise.
It's like white noise, and I totally agree.
And I'll also just say, I think it needs to be at the top because the past few months, I've gotten just really intimate with the machinery, and I've actually been building some of my own machines, which...
Yeah, the ones actually I use, made.
Yes, they're actually, they are Scions, and that's what I'm calling my machines, and I'm going to put them up for sale.
Right now, actually.
Yeah, if you...
And you can use this code right here.
Yeah, if you got this far in the video, thank you for watching, and...
yeah, I hope you learned something about negative ions, because I honestly did just right now through talking about it, so...
Yeah, absolutely, and please, if you're interested in one of these negative ion generators, the Scion, please let us know.
We want you to experience better health. That's what we've always been about.
That's what we're always been about.
So get a Scion and, see for yourself.
Absolutely, and they work. Trust me.
Thanks for watching.